and I've said this all the time, that manifestation starts and ends with gratitude. And if you really don't know where to start with anything and you're going through a tough time, a gratitude practice is where you start. And you might think, I'm going through a tough time. I am not going to start practicing gratitude. The sales are shit. That is the last thing I want to do. But we know from the science that a consistent gratitude practice will strengthen the positive neural pathways in your brain. You'll start to see more opportunities come up. The more grateful you are, it brings in abundance. There's a quote, a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. I really, really believe that. I started my gratitude practice back consistently after the loss of a baby. And that was one of the most difficult times of my life. But we know that a gratitude practice does help with reframing past trauma and any future trauma. And when you have a gratitude practice, in business, we all know this. We get so many no's. I honestly get more no's than yeses, but with a gratitude practice, it makes it easier to handle. Because you're just like, okay, next. This isn't the worst thing in the world. So what? They said no. Okay, move on next. Rejection is redirection. So after I wrote down, and this is a true story, I'm telling you. After I wrote down that I wanted more sales for my business, I wrote it down. The very next day, I got an email from a corporate looking for 145 boxes to gift to their clients in hampers. And I looked up the corporate, and they have clients that are some of the biggest names in beauty and fashion in Ireland. And I'm like, oh my God, some of these big names are going to get a gratitude box. So don't ask how the sales are going to come. Like I said, how is not a question in your manifestation box. It's all about taking the action. So I had reached out to these people. I said, would you like to consider these boxes for corporate gifting? And then I wrote down I wanted more sales. So I'm taking all the action. I'm doing the right steps. I'm trying to keep my vibe high. And then all of a sudden I had written it down. And the very next day I got an email